right now on SAU Weekly. New year, new classes.
We want to think about what our students today need to know and what our students are going to need to know 10 years from now.
SAU will roll out its new core curriculum in the fall 2026 school year. How it could affect your class schedule just ahead. And a break in the case.
What we were doing is actually could lead to this case reopening up.
SAU students uncover new details in a decades-long cold case. How their podcast could lead to justice for one Quad City family. Coming up. And in sports, high hopes. Men's wrestling hosts their first meet of the season, with lots of young talent hitting the mats. Plus, we preview another exciting season of women's basketball. Your latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University starts right now. Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Ross Willarth.
And I'm Mallory Helmig.
Campus security is working with Davenport Police after an early morning vehicle break-in just west of McCarthy Hall. Around 4:49 a.m. last Saturday, security officers spotted a vehicle in the Zone 2 parking lot west of McCarthy with its lights on and damage to the driver's side lock. When officers reviewed surveillance video, they discovered that just before 2:45 a.m., a dark blue Hyundai pulled into the lot. 3 men got out and approached a parked Kia. Campus security has turned over the video and all related information to Davenport Police, who continue to investigate.
Certainly some things to think about would be, one, don't leave valuables in your vehicle, particularly easy to transport high-price items, golf clubs, book bags, purses. Make sure your car's locked. Make sure you park when possible near lights. The further inside the lots, the better oftentimes. Try to use lots that a lot of other people are using. If somebody's behaving in a way that doesn't seem like they're going to their car, if they seem to be looking at a number of cars, if they seem to be driving slowly through the parking lots, please make sure to call that in. You can send that as a LiveSafe tip and do so anonymously. You can call us from the LiveSafe app. You can call us at 563-333-6104. You can even use one of the blue cap phones in the parking lot to call us.
Security also urges everyone to take precautions and utilize campus safety resources. Highlighting even small steps can make a big difference. Anyone with information on the break-in is urged to contact Davenport Police or campus security.
In the latter half of the fall semester, it's time for students to start thinking about classes for next semester. But evolving majors and a new core curriculum are looming. SAU Weekly's Ross Willarth explains what this means for class schedules.
As students begin to turn the page to a new semester, many may have noticed campus flyers showcasing a new core curriculum and evolving majors. This is in response to the alignment of Mount Mercy and a need to update general education courses.
Probably not a big surprise that a lot of our students just take the courses to check them off, right?
Dr. Ella Johnson is leading the effort to enhance the general education experience.
It really aligns with what students were telling us that they wanted and needed. A lot of them were saying our professors are great, but we're just not feeling like these courses are quite relevant to our majors, our future lives, or even to us personally.
As students work their way through the core curriculum, each class is based around a question.
A question that's meant to be aligned with the topic of the course, but also to be really personally and professionally engaging for students.
So what does one of these questions look like?
The new creative arts class that has been developed asks the question, how does engaging in the creative process enrich our understanding of ourselves and others?
Each class's lectures, assignments, and projects guide students toward an answer.
We're a very student-centered university. We want to think about what our students today need to know and what our students are going to need to know 10 years from now.
But with this change, the focus is clear. Improve the student experience. With SAU Weekly, I'm Ross Willarth.
Thanks, Ross. If you're a returning student and still haven't decided which curriculum to take, Dr. Johnson says your advisor will help you when registering at the end of the spring semester.
The St. Ambrose archives are digging into some of the campus's oldest stories, including a few that might send a chill down your spine. Archivist and professor Annika Marquez is collecting the ghost stories that have become part of campus folklore, preserving the mystery and history behind them. From mysterious footsteps echoing through campus halls to the ghostly legends surrounding Ambrose Hall, these stories have been passed down through generations of students.
Ghost stories are part of our university's legends, tradition. It's part of our folklore. I don't just want students' ghost stories. I want any of their stories that talks about their stories here at St. Ambrose, you know, what they're doing. The stories of today is tomorrow's history. And this is a really great opportunity to promote the archives and to promote awareness.
But Marquez says it's all part of local folklore, stories that connect Ambrosians through time, whether they believe in ghosts or not. If you've heard a haunted tale or have one of your own, you can reach out to Annika Marquez at archives@sau.edu to help keep this campus tradition alive. An English assignment is bringing new attention to a 45-year-old Quad Cities murder case.
English instructor Lindsay Schaefer assigned her students to produce a podcast about local cold cases. One group chose the 1979 murder of 12-year-old Roger Warren of Davenport, a case that's remained unsolved for decades. When the three students, Keandre Miles, Junie Almeida, and Joshua Adebola, began their research, sealed court documents ground their search to a halt. But after reaching out to Roger's younger brother, Gary, who was just 7 years old when Roger was killed, Gary revealed new details in this case. The students' podcast is now drawing new community interest in the case and hope that answers may still be found.
We contacted Gary himself and he was like, I would love to come in. There's so much you guys don't know. I've been trying to get this done for 45 years and nothing has came to light. So once he was like 45 years, nothing has happened and he was really excited to get into contact with us. We knew like, okay, this could be really big.
When I heard that, that was just like me and, my group mates, we were like, we got to make this podcast, really good. So it can have a chance, maybe reopen up this case.
And although their midterm project is turned in, the story doesn't end there. Keandre, Junie, and Joshua hope their assignment can help bring some closure to the Warren family. In this week's What's the Buzz, we'll dive a little deeper into the case.
Thanks, guys. Joining us now is English instructor Lindsay Schaefer. Thanks for being here, Lindsay.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So bring us up to speed a little bit. We just heard how the podcast started, but what's happened since then? Has the case been reopened?
So we're hoping. We haven't heard anything official yet, but some updates are that since part 1 aired on KWQC, Gary and myself have gotten quite a few calls from people with new information, and it seems like that information is pretty pertinent, so we've turned them right over to the police to hopefully kind of show that there's been progress now, they have something to work with, and hopefully that's enough to then turn it over to the cold case unit.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then going back with the KWQC interview, you discussed the case with others who were in the Quad Cities at the time of Roger Warren's death, but they couldn't recount much from it themselves.
Right.
What did you know about the case?
So at the beginning, so this was about 4 years before I was born that it happened. But my parents, who've lived in Davenport their entire lives, had heard nothing, and everyone else that was around during that time was really like, how did I not hear about that? And I mean, even just 3 weeks ago, all I really knew was what we saw from old newspapers, which was just that 2 boys walked down to the river, only one came back. So it wasn't until we talked to Gary, the younger brother that made it back, that we sort of got the full story.
Can you share some of that new information the students uncovered in the case? I mean, that was huge what happened, everything.
Yeah, so Gary shared that sort of the circumstances there, they had been down on, I think, 2nd or 3rd Street in Davenport, collecting cans, trying to make some pocket change for maybe a soda or a candy bar that day. And a man approached them and said, "Hey, I've got a 10-speed bicycle you can have. Just meet me at Crescent Bridge later tonight." And they kind of had the rest of the day, and then we're like, "Oh yeah, we got to meet that guy, get that bike." They were from sort of a poor family, so a 10-speed bike sounded great. They had to walk everywhere. And Gary explained that when they got there, they approached the guy. He immediately grabbed both of them. And the moment that still gives me chills that he talks about is, I guess, Roger, the older brother, sort of flung his body around so that the guy would have to put both hands just to keep hold of him, and that freed up Gary. And Roger yelled, "Run, Gary." Kind of saved his brother's life that day. So Gary ran home, told his parents what had happened, and they called the police. And at that time, the police said, "Well, we have to treat it as a runaway child, in which case we can't do anything for 24 hours. Which now it's so different that if something like that were to happen now, we'd have an Amber Alert. I think we've kind of learned from that error. So they searched. I think family and friends that night even searched. Couldn't come up with much, and I believe it was about 6 days later that his body washed up near Credit Island in the Mississippi River. So Gary has found out since then that his brother was abducted and held for about 3 days or so, unfortunately tortured, and then murdered. And I think the most stunning part of it to me was it seemed like there was a lot of evidence that they had. And even in the newspapers, the police had said, "We're 99.9% sure." Well, to me, that goes beyond reasonable doubt. So I was stunned that this guy was never prosecuted.
The project obviously has been turned in now, as mentioned by KWQC, but what's next for the case itself then?
Iowa's cold case unit just opened up last year. It's a brand new thing. So that really provides an opportunity here that Gary didn't have before. So the timing of all this has worked out where now Gary's ready to kind of, he's motivated about this, he's excited, and he's kind of determined, like, it's time. Yeah. It's time to figure out what happened there and to hold someone accountable for it. It became much more than a project for these three guys. Now it's sort of a mission.
Well, thank you so much for being here and being able to go ahead and talk about this with us.
Yeah, happy to.
Yeah. Well, back to you guys in the studio.
Grant, be sure to catch the full interview on The Hive. Coming up next in sports, SAU men's wrestling hosts their first meet of the season with big results.
And we head to the court to preview another exciting season of women's basketball.
Join SAU Weekly's Dominic Neely as he takes you inside SAU athletics. Stay tuned.
Visit Ragged Records, one of the largest record stores in the Midwest. Browse more than 30,000 new and used records, from timeless classics to new releases, and rare finds in every aisle. New to collecting vinyl? Check out our large selection of stereo equipment to spruce up your listening experience. Find your group at Ragged Records, located along Motor Row in Davenport and in Rock Island next to Roz Talks.
Capture a piece of the past with Trash Can Annie, where vintage meets vibrant in every stitch. Browse our carefully curated collection of clothing and accessories, ranging from the late 1800s to current styles. Dress to impress with Laura's unique style and wardrobe consultations. Find a style and make it yours with Trash Can Annie, your destination for timeless fashion.
Whether you're a competitive runner, looking to stay fit, or just looking for comfort and support, Running Wild has you covered. Locally owned for more than 3 decades, Running Wild is the Quad City's trusted source for athletic wear and accessories. No matter your experience level, we'll help you find the right fit with all the top brands for running and walking and the latest in running apparel. Open 7 days a week, just up Brady Street. Don't walk, run to Running Wild, your run specialty store.
Tune in to KALA and hear something different. Programming that celebrates the diversity of our listeners. We're advocates for the arts, showcasing your favorite music from around the world. We're storytellers, producing award-winning news and educational podcasts. We're dedicated sports fans, bringing you the latest Fighting Bee action from St. Ambrose University. We're a learning lab, mentoring the next generation of broadcasters and content creators. A part of your community for 5 decades. We're KALA Radio, 88.5 FM and 106.1 FM. Turn it on and turn it up. Ready the studio in 3, 2.
Welcome to this edition of SAU Weekly, your source for the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
We begin with breaking news after a vehicle crashed into a non-residential campus building overnight.
We should always have places to promote inclusivity on and off campus.
You guys got the opportunity to scrimmage against 3 Division I basketball teams. How did your team benefit from that later on in the season?
Well, I think it's just a great experience for our players.
Being able to run and be around the people that I enjoy gives me a reason to be passionate about running.
Welcome to Stingers, discussions with SAU Bees over everyone's favorite drinks.
What happens to you though, seriously, if you drink the whole cup?
You get all your papers done. And
yeah, right.
On Saturday, the St. Ambrose wrestling team faced off against Missouri Baptist for their second match of the year. The team has high hopes for the season, following the departure of many key seniors. The Fighting Bees brought their best to the mats early. Freshman Mitch Murphy claimed a 12-2 major decision at 133 pounds, making the duel 10-0. On to the next weight, Giuseppe Guerrero was in a close match with nationally ranked Daryl Mills. It was close all the way until the end, but Guerrero struck with a last-second takedown, making the score of the match 5-4. This put the Bees up 14-0. The Spartans bounced back with a few decisions, but they were unable to take the lead. Nick Makawala and Jeremiah Morris sealed the deal for the Bees, both winning by decision, and the Bees taking this one 23-16. On Thursday, the wrestling team took on the William Penn Statesmen in Lee Loman for the first time this season. The victory moved the Bees to 3-0 on the year. SAU won 5 matches and earned bonus points in 3 of them. After William Woods won the match at 133 pounds, the Bees followed with 2 straight bonus point wins by Giuseppe Guerrera and Josh Zeman. Brody Schmidt got the Bees rolling again with an 8-2 decision at 174 pounds. To end the duel, Tyler Casey and Jeremiah Morris sealed the deal for the Bees with a forfeit and a decision. The Bees' next competition will be at the Grandview Open on November 15th. Experience is key for SAU women's basketball as they're set to begin their season on the road this weekend in Indiana. SAU Weekly's Sydney Horseman speaks to the team before they hit the court.
Hustle on, hustle off. Let's go, let's go.
After weeks of preseason practice, the SAU women's basketball team is ready to hit the court.
I like the fact that I do have a lot of players now who's been here for a couple years. Now, having those that's returned, they've been there, done that as far as experience on the court, the do's and don'ts of practices and games and things of that nature makes a world of difference, so then we can move a lot faster and install a lot more things in so we can get ready to go from the jump.
That experience is what's helping the team focus on more than just basketball skills.
Big thing that I wanted to do was make sure that it was about team and family. Anytime like a player falls during a practice or even a live drill, we all run to that person, right? So they know that they're responsible for picking each other up.
Good job.
That bond shows up in every drill.
Good, Aaron!
And players say it's carrying them into a new season with new goals.
I would say for individual goals, just be like a good team player, create open shots for my teammates, and just be the best version of myself and be a good leader. And team goals, just want to win games and do whatever we can to make it to the playoffs.
For senior Abby, this year feels a little different.
It's hard to think about that everything you've done your whole life builds up to this one last year, but just giving it your all.
Here we go.
I think just the mindset is to be a captain out there, to lead this team, to get that dub, and as we go into each game, just to grow.
As the team prepares for Saturday's season opener against Briar Cliff, the focus is clear. Play fast,
good shot,
play together,
watch it, Haley, watch it, Haley,
and start the season strong. With SAU Weekly, I'm Sydney Horseman.
Oh my God!
Thanks, Sydney. The women's basketball team will begin their season on the road in Sioux City, Iowa, Saturday evening to take on the Briar Cliff Chargers. They'll then play Midland Sunday at noon. The Fighting Bee football team hopes to continue their winning streak tomorrow at 1, hosting Clark at Jack and Pat Bush Stadium. The Pride currently sit at 1-7 on the season. As always, you can catch all the action live on KALA with CJ Boone and Colin Maugua. Tune in on 106.1 FM on your radio dial in the Quad Cities or listen anywhere at kalafm.org. That'll do it for Inside SAU Athletics. I'm Dominic Neely.
And that's all we have for this edition on SAU Weekly. We'll be back next week with the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Remember to check out the SAU TV Facebook and Instagram pages for our newscasts, top stories, and more. You can also find them on The Hive at sauthehive.com.
We'll leave you with this week's campus question. What's your Halloween costume? Happy Halloween from SAU TV.
What are you being for Halloween this year?
I'm going to be the old lady who wanted all that chocolate in the wheelchair from SpongeBob, because I've kind of already got the wheelchair situation going on.
I'm going to be a backpack.
So this year we did a Harry Potter theme, and so we sent my son as Voldemort. He actually had 3 costumes. He got to be Voldemort, Spider-Man, and Superman this year. So, but we're doing Harry Potter.
This year for Halloween, I'm either going to be a full hunter costume or I'm going to be a bottle of Fireball.
So we are going to be bottles of ranch for Halloween. This is a very super creative and fun idea that we made. And then on Saturday, I'm going to be a cow.
And I'm going to be a cop.
Me and my girlfriend are going as Harry Potter and the Golden Snitch.
This is cheesy, but I'm going to be a vampire.
For Halloween, I'm going as Glinda from Wicked.
I'm going to be the mermaid from Aquamarine.
This year, I was honestly really late on picking a costume, so we're going to be a genie and pull it together somehow tomorrow night.
As far as what my dogs will be, Betty will probably either be a bee or skunk or a spider, and Heidi will be a devil.